Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 7, analyzing risk management plans. So we've wrapped up unit 2, and we're moving on to our third and final unit. So we're really coming down the home stretch for this course. So thanks everyone for your focus, and hopefully these next 2 weeks, or actually we really only have a week and a half, week 7 and week 8 really tie everything together that we've been working on throughout the semester. So before we jump into week 7, I want to just recap a few things from unit 2. First thing was the feedback exercises. I did read most of them. There are a few that haven't been turned in yet, so please contact me if you haven't turned in your feedback exercise. And just a reminder from those, in order to get full credit, you needed to use a model that I presented in the video, so either the AIR model or the TOAST model, or some other kind of deliberate model or mechanism for delivering feedback. So everyone did fine, everyone got good grades, but in order to get a 50 out of 50 or a really high mark, you would need to deliberately let me know that you're using one of these models. Assignment 2, the collaborative project, I will be grading that this week. It's currently about 3 p.m. on Sunday, so I'm waiting for them to trickle in. They're due tonight at midnight, and I'm looking forward to grading them. I'll be getting assignment 2 back to everybody in this upcoming week. And to refresh last week's discussion boards, I was really lively debate on the discussion boards. A lot of really good thoughts were put out there. So the 3 topics we talked about were subjective and objective risks. Folks really put out a broad spectrum of subjective and objective risks, and I liked how there was some overlap between both of them. The human factors discussion board, there was a lot of I think openness and self-awareness in that, and I appreciate everyone sharing human factors that they saw in themselves. I shared a few that I saw in myself, or that I see in myself as well. So hopefully that helped. And then lastly, the White Mountain case study. Great job there. I think it's important to see that professionals make mistakes, and I think everyone on that discussion post really pointed out, yeah, we were experienced. We'd done a lot of things correctly throughout the training trip, but we let our guard down, and we made this kind of series of mistakes that kind of snowballed, no pun intended, snowballed out of control, and we ended up making some really bad decisions at the end of the day. So hopefully you can learn from that and know that 2020, or hindsight's always 2020. But yeah, I think I hope that was useful to see me putting myself out there, and you can learn from some of the mistakes that I made about, I guess it was 10 years ago now. And that's it for Unit 2. So we've been focusing the last 3 weeks on teamwork, communication, unpacking the human factors and the human element in decision making, and hopefully that was useful, and you can transfer all these skills into your risk management plans. So yeah, Unit 3, Week 7, Analyzing Risk Management Plans. So the learning objectives for this unit: describe the risks and dangers associated with some land-based outdoor activities offered at Red Rocks, and then we're going to develop the parts of a risk management plan. So this week will be part review of best practices from Unit 1, and in theory part review of Unit 2, because we're going to tie the human element into our risk management plans. And then application is the second part. We're going to there's a worksheet that's due at the end of the week where you'll develop parts of a risk management plan. And I'll talk about that more as this video continues. So week 7, there's discussion boards. There's 2 posts. You'll want to reply on them by Sunday. The first question is risk an essential part of outdoor education? I think it's a great question, really open-ended. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. And then the next discussion board is making the link between units 1, 2, and 3. So I've definitely talked at length about kind of linking things up throughout this course. That's me talking. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you can link in best practices, human elements, and risk management plans. So 2 posts. Your posts are due on Sunday. So just 1 post in each of those this week. No need to reply by Wednesdays. So just post by Sunday. I'd love to see your thoughts. I've also posted a video from an IFMGA mountain guide named Grant Statham. He's a Canadian mountain guide and avalanche forecaster, and he discusses consequence and probability, and it's a really neat video. It's a TED Talk that he presented a few years ago. He's an amazing mountain guide and forecaster, and he's done a lot of work with regards to risk. So hopefully you find that video interesting and useful. It's posted in the week 7 kind of overview section. There is reading for this week. It's the risk management process by Amon and Brown. It's kind of lengthy, but you're going to want to read it. I get a jump on the reading before you do the worksheet that's due at the end of the week. So I'd recommend starting the reading probably Monday, Tuesday. It's kind of long and dense, but there's some really important points in it that are going to help kind of make you understand the risk management process and the risk treatment process a bit better. And in that DIM worksheet, develop, implement, and manage. That's what DIM stands for. That worksheet is due on Sunday, March 5th. So next Sunday. So in the Amon and Brown paper, the authors talk about probability versus consequence. This table's in the paper, but I just wanted to bring it up and explain it a bit. You can see frequency on one axis, and then the amount of loss is on the other. So this is what we talk about: low probability, high consequence events. That's the same as a low frequency, high catastrophe. So that's what oftentimes those deep persistent slab avalanches are that we were involved with in White Mountain. But this matrix is going to help you with the worksheet. So definitely pay attention to this when you're doing the reading. And then Amon and Brown also talk about the risk treatment process, kind of ways that you deal with risk. And there's 4 ways that the authors cite. And these are kind of four ways that are pretty common across the risk management industry. The first is to avoid risk. So you can avoid the risk at all costs, which for certain risks and certain frequencies may be the best option. Transfer the risk, and that's another way to treat it. And by transferring, that could be subcontracting out to other outfitters or guides. So in the summertime, I work for a climbing guide service at Smith Rock in Oregon. It's called Smith Rock Climbing School. And we get subcontracted by another company called Wilderness Ventures that runs backpacking and trips for kids. But Wilderness Ventures doesn't have any climbing staff. And so they transfer that risk to Smith Rock Climbing School. So that's pretty common in the industry. Another way is to retain that risk, to retain it and accept it. And the fourth, and probably the most important one, and the one that we deal with the most as outdoor professionals, is risk reduction. So reducing the risk. And then Amon and Brown merge consequence and treatment in table 2 in their paper. And this is a really great chart, and this will help with the DIM worksheet as well, seeing how you manage and you treat risks very differently depending on their frequency and how much damage can occur. So back to the DIM worksheet. This one's due on Sunday. DIM stands for develop, implement, and manage, and those are kind of the various stages that you're going to do on that worksheet. The grading breakdown or the rubric is listed on the slide down below, but the development section, it's more short answers, but complete sentences where appropriate, that's going to be 50 points. The implementation section, 1 to 2 paragraphs. So I wanted to set a limit for the writing there because I want you to keep it short and succinct. And then the management section, 1 to 2 paragraphs. So once we bring up the worksheet, you'll see what I mean. But try to keep your answers within those parameters. And then the last part of the DIM worksheet is a risk management reflection. So 1 to 2 pages double spaced. It's kind of your opportunity to reflect upon risk management. All right, that's it for the PowerPoint. Let me bring up the week. So you can see week 3, that Grant Statham video is going to be here in the overview section. And then let me see. Actually, I'm going to bring up that DIM worksheet, the next thing. So this is the DIM worksheet. This is the one that's due on Sunday. So you've got these 3 sections: develop. This is more short answers. And that Amon and Brown reading will help a lot with this. Here's a matrix. Basically fill out this matrix for an activity that you choose, ways to treat that risk, implementation, 1 to 2 paragraphs, management, 1 to 2 paragraphs, and then reflection. So the way the worksheet works is you choose a outdoor activity at Red Rocks and you kind of come up with a risk management plan for it by developing it, implementing it, and managing it. So it's really practical. It's going to be a mix of application, but also a review of best practices. Should be a fun little exercise. And then you will post that in the assignment 3 discussion board. So you'll post your DIM worksheet here, and everyone will get a chance to read each other's DIM worksheets next week. And so as we wrap up the course in week 8 next week, we'll get a chance to get more information about specific risks associated with specific activities. So that was the thought process. That was my thought process behind that assignment. So I've been talking about 11 minutes. It's probably more than you want to hear right now. So Sunday night, good luck with getting in those collaborative projects. And once again, I'm around all week, so feel free to email me if you have any questions about the upcoming week or assignments. And if your collaborative assignment, so that's assignment 2, is going to need any extra time, I'd rather hear about it tonight than tomorrow or Tuesday. So let me know if you're having trouble communicating with your partners and you need more time. But other than that, thanks for all the hard work. It's kind of crunch time here, but I really appreciate the effort, and we'll be in touch. Have a great week.